Okay, so the inspiration behind today's activity is something that I tried a few years ago, but something that I learned a little bit more about recently. This idea is taken from a private school, a private academy. Turn my music down. The essence of this task is to get you to learn how to engage with marking criteria. So I didn't give you a rubric, but I did give you guidelines, and I find guidelines are a lot better than rubrics. How many of you actually read the rubric? Did I give you a rubric? I probably didn't. I'm going to cut that part out, right? That makes me look bad as a teacher. In grade 10, 11, 12, you'll get rubrics. In grade 9, you just get funneled along into grade 10, so it's better to have guidelines. Guidelines are simpler to succeed, to follow and understand and succeed. Okay. So let's see. This is my first time doing this method. Let's actually separate the 4 sheets of paper. Okay. So you can just pull the staple out. Okay. I guess I'm doing that now as well. So please, and thank you everybody, make sure you have separated the pieces of paper. You can just rip it. You can just pull the staple out. Do what you need to do. Okay. Which means that you have 4 pieces of paper. Round 1, 2, and 3. Yes?
I do not have a sheet of paper.
You did not get one.
I did you?
Did someone...
That was Miguel's side.
Did someone steal yours? Did one of these girls take it?
Yeah.
Okay. The first sheet of paper I want you to keep with you throughout this activity. Okay, does everyone know what the first sheet of paper is? It says marking criteria right at the top. I hope everybody has their essays from yesterday. Okay. A lot of throat clearing and a lot of awkward shuffling. A lot of like, I'm about to start begging face. Marking criteria. So you are tasked with marking the essays that other people wrote. Now, before you get all like chummy with your pal and saying like, hey, you better give me good marks, we're randomizing them. Okay, you're gonna have 3 rounds. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. Some random person's gonna read your essay. Additionally, the reason why I asked you to separate these 3 pages is so that when you have round 1, okay, you take your round 1 document with your essay, you give it to your partner. When you have round 2 person doesn't get to see what round 1 gave them. No easy and free marks, okay? You guys are doing maintenance? It's that one right there. I honestly think it's gonna fall pretty soon. And it's right over my head. Do you see this light right there? So if you come at it from this angle, you'll see that metal frame is out.
If you just want to get louder, it's that clip.
Yeah. Okay, so don't worry about that. The reason why you won't show other people your mark is so that they don't go like, because you might be really lazy, you might go like, okay, what did round 1 give them? A 9? Oh, I'll be super nice, I'll be a 9.5, okay? Maybe like, you see the other person gave them a 4 and you're like, wow, I'm super lazy, I don't want to do any work. I'll give them a 5 so no one questions it. No, we are going to have a new round each time. You won't know what the other people gave them, okay? So, grade 9s, repeat back to me. What do you do on round 1? What do you give that person? You give them your... No, wait. You give them your essay along with your round 1 piece of paper. Okay. So you can write down marking. Who is the owner of the essay? Make sure you have their name. Just in case you lose them. Marked by, you put down your own name. Okay, right? We have marking, marked by, and you want to give it a score out of 10. The reason why I have 10 is because 10 is very easy for percentages. Okay, it just goes simple, like 1 out of 10 is 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50. You can give a 0.5. And it's much easier to say, you know, I think this is like a 75% response. Now you might read your first essay and go, wow, this is pretty good. This is 85%. And you read your second essay, you go, whoa, this is a good essay. Like that previous one was trash. Right, but it's too late, okay? So let's go back to the criteria. So, did they have a clear thesis statement? This is general guidelines. Do you know exactly what their 1 to 3 lessons were from their first paragraph? If you read their first paragraph and you go, I don't really know what this person is learning from this game, what they were supposed to write about, they have a bad thesis statement. It's hard to know what they're going to write about. And that's important for higher level writing, right? If you want good marks. Second point, did they provide enough evidence to back up their lesson? Let's say they said, well, I learned a lot about money management, period. I also learned a lot about random expenses, like having a kid, period. I learned that you should look for a good deal, period. Is that a lot of evidence? Do you feel like they're being genuine about the lesson they learned? You're supposed to be responding in some way, like shake your head up or down, or side to side, right? Okay. So what you should, go ahead. What you should focus on is, let's say they said, I learned a lot about random expenses. Some of the random expenses I had in the game were I got downsized twice, I had to buy a boat, I had several children. I learned that expenses make it very difficult to have extra money. Okay, excellent, that's good bit of evidence. Last one, was their writing clear and concise? Does the writing make sense, or is it all over the place? So if you're think about taking a path. You know, you can just walk straight, so I can just walk over to where you're looking like this, or I can kind of zigzag around like this, jump over a desk, maybe push him out of the way, do some parkour over his head, and then get to the, right? So are they being direct? Or is it all over the place? Some of you, I saw some grade 9 essays do this, I saw some grade 12 essays do this, it's kind of sad, but it's very clear when you read someone's writing if their mind is organized or not. That might be a little abstract, like you can just tell if their thoughts are clear and concise. Okay? So look for that. Okay. So some of the things you can write down, because you'll notice there's a space for you to give positive feedback and constructive criticism. Under positive feedback, you can comment on how well they explained something, or in general. You can write about how their writing was well organized, that they had unique ideas or lessons, they explained their ideas thoroughly. This is good stuff, right? You want to comment on what they did good. This is just a basic idea. Constructive criticism, because everyone has room for improvement, myself included. Maybe the person has to write neater. Like you just couldn't read what they're writing. It's just too scribbly. Maybe they needed to complete their essay. Looking at you over there. Okay. Making sure they completely express their ideas. Like maybe all they wrote was that random expenses are kind of bad because, well, their idea isn't complete. They need to finish that sentence. Making sure their ideas are concise, so clear and easy to follow along and make sense. They go from point A to B to C to D, not A, F, G, B, E, I, L, M, N, O, P, right? Like it can't be all over the place where it's confusing. So your job is to provide at least one positive feedback and one constructive criticism. Now I'm going to stop there because once we've done our 3 rounds, I will let you know about what's going on with the marker feedback. Okay? Because you're going to give feedback to the people who marked you as well. Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, excellent. So we just finished our first round. So again, all of this stuff is new to me. We're figuring it out. Are you on your phone back there? Or are you just looking down? Okay. You should be looking up. Okay.
To God.
What you're going to do in a moment is take your partner's essay and the feedback you gave them. You're going to return it to them. Not yet.
With the feedback I gave them?
Yeah, with the feedback you gave them, the positive feedback and the constructive criticism and the mark. And the mark. Make sure, because you kids forget all the time, make sure you have written who it was marked by. I'm gonna email your mom and tell her she needs to come and talk about your behavior. Okay? Make sure you have included your name on there. Everybody look at that right now. Because if you don't do that, this system doesn't work. And you're gonna get a big fat 0 for the next thing, which goes into your mark. Okay? So, once you have returned your essay and your round 1 document to the original owner will give you a rating of your performance on marking. What that includes is judge them on how useful and effective their feedback was. So for the positive feedback for my partner here, I said You had a clear thesis statement, and your first 2 body paragraphs had good explanations. I'm gonna tell everybody your criticism. For body paragraph 3, you could do a better job of explaining why you want your money to work for you. Okay, so she can rate me on that. She might say it's 10 out of 10 because she wants a good mark later on. Or she'll be honest, she'll say it's a 9.9 out of 10 because it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good, right? Okay, but she will give marker 1 a mark out of 10. Okay, how fair the mark given was, particularly in comparison with the feedback given. So I'm not gonna say her mark out loud but she did pretty good. She did pretty good. Okay, return your original thing, and then we'll set up the next round. Okay, grade 9s. Let's all quiet down, okay? No more nonsense. I should probably put my keys back in my pocket. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your marking criteria, your round 1, 2, and 3, put them back in order. Put them back in order, okay? Because we're gonna staple them together again. But I'm just gonna chat for the video's sake. So we are now done the process, which involved you having 3 random people mark your essay, provide you positive feedback, provide you constructive criticism. Constructive criticism, I should have explained because I assumed that you knew, but I shouldn't assume that you know these things. Constructive criticism is how that person can do better. Hopefully, you felt like you got some good feedback. Additionally, hopefully you got to see a variety of essays. You didn't just see your little buddy. You go elbow touch them and go, hey, give me a 10 out of 10 because we're friends, right? Like you two would have done that. You absolutely would have done that. Okay, you would have given each other 10s. And your mom teaches English. What would she say of that? She'd be upset, probably. Okay? So, what else do I want to say? Did everyone give their marker a score?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the future, I'm thinking I should have like a feedback portion as well. So you should include their name and include some feedback like, hey, this person didn't give me anything to work on. Now, I didn't give anything for Faithful to work on, but I thought that she was writing very well for grade 9. And I just said your name there, I apologize, okay? But like nobody watches these anyways, let's be honest, okay?
I do.
Not yet, they don't. What else?
One day.
Thank you all so very much for participating with that. I had so much fun. I'm sure many of you suffered, but that's okay. Sometimes in life you gotta suffer to learn. Okay, thank you.